What is going on, guys? Bowtie Brem here once again, and today we're going to be doing some preventative maintenance on a 2020 Kubota SCL 1000 Dingo. Let's hop into it. Now, fair warning, I have never done this before, so we're kind of figuring this out together, okay? I'm just reading the directions right here, and we're going to figure it out. Alrighty, step one here. Go down to your hood latch, give her a nice little yank. Gonna hop on into your good old air box, air filter right here. Got a latch on each side. Pop them open, pop it off. See how we're looking. Oh, looks like we got some leaves and what is this? Some junk. So you're gonna want to clean this sucker out. If you guys aren't familiar, Bowtie Brem works at a rental company. We rent everything from dingoes to tents to tables to wheelchairs to anything you need. So yeah, first we're just going to start off by cleaning out this filter. You got one filter there, then you have the internal filter. Actually, we're just going to replace these, but you can clean them out ever so often. So let me get these suckers replaced, and we'll be on to the next step. Alrighty, so the next step is we're gonna yank the fuel filter off. Just untwist it like so. Twist, 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 twist. And oh, she's full. Alright, take this, dump the goodness out into your pan that you should have already gotten out, but you neglected to get out. So you're just gonna set this to the side for a second somewhere. There, we're just gonna dump it into the sink. Alrighty. Now get your new fuel filter, which is here's your part number, 3390. Right there, fuel filter. Get your new one. While we're here, before I put the fuel filter on, none of the stuff is on. You might need wrenches to get this stuff done, but this is your water separator, and we're just going to give this, it's your water line right there. If you don't know what a water separator is, if this float is above that, that means you got too much water in your fuel. We're just going to unscrew this bad boy and take it out, dump it out, and just clean it, you know, keep everything nice and happy. So yeah, just wash it out with some water, dump it out, don't let anything go down the drain. There's your little float, there's your little spring, and that's about it. Just clean it out, because you can see there's some junk down in there. So yeah, just clean this out all nice and good. Alright, now that you got this sucker looking good as new, shove her back on there like so. Make sure you don't cross thread everything and just screw it back on two-handed. So just so you guys know, every 50 hours you should be checking your air filter and your track tension. Every 100 hours you're going to go to the fan belt tension, change out that engine oil, change the oil filter. 200 hours you're just gonna, that fan belt adjustment once again, 250, change out the whole air cleaner, change that fuel filter, the hydraulic return filter, as you can see here, 500 hours, change the hydro oil, 1 year, tank breather, 2 years coolant, and yeah, this is your little guide. Let's get to it. We are currently on the machine. We are looking at approximately 534 hours. For the water separator, you want to have it on nice and tight, so give it a couple bangs with the hammer. Make sure she's sealed on there nice and tight. Get your line to line, make a line beforehand, line to line. And also, for those that don't know, there's your shut off right yonder. All right, on to the next. Now, when you're applying this, you definitely don't want to do it one-handed here. You want to add some fuel to your fuel filter and on the gasket for some lubrication. And all you're going to do is screw it right back on. Today we're with Master Tech, Mr. Mason, because like I said, I have pretty much no idea what I'm doing. But there's no way to learn than to watch a master. So yeah, like I said, this is filter 3390. Tighten it back on snug with your big meaty paws, and we're on to the next. So now, your big air filter is going to be 6449, and your mini is going to be 2845. Take them. Make sure your box is all cleaned out, outer and inner, if you're being smart about it. Oh, have it on the right way. Boom, and a bang. In there nice and good. Put your cap back on. Lock it in, and we're on to the next. Alrighty, so next we're gonna be draining the oil. You got your oil drain plug right there. Little T handle. Unscrew it, make sure you have a pan under it. And yeah, let all the oil out. While we're doing that, we're gonna go to that oil filter. So side note, you wanna pull your dipstick right there, let her breathe a little better. Now we gotta get to that oil filter. Now your oil filter is under this cover right here. So you're gonna need a 9/16 ratchet. Undo that sucker. And the oil filter wrench size is right there, 65 millimeter. And you're gonna need an extension because it is back in there. Boom, bang. As you can see, way back in there. So you're gonna wanna have that extension for your wrench. Let's get to it. So now right here are all your engine oil choices. You can see it's pretty much 10W30 or 10W40. We're going with some 10W30 Shell Rotella.
That's what the book wants.
That's what the book wants. That's what the machine gets. Oil filter wise. And it does take 4 quarts. And we're going to be looking at the filter 1365. And obviously you can't do this hand tight because you need the extension. So don't go crazy tight when putting it back on. And yeah, gonna go put her back on and fill her up with some oil. You just want to make sure you lubricate just like your car or truck. You want to add a little pizzazz to the top of the filter. Good seal. You also want to make sure before you add your oil, shut off that drain plug, or else you're gonna just waste all the oil you just put in. Alrighty, we're gonna put it back on. Alrighty, so while we're waiting to put that oil filter back on and the oil to drain, under here, you can see this plate right here. Those 6 bolts, those are all 1/2-inch bolts. That's how you're gonna get to your hydraulic fluid, release or whatever you wanna call it, to dump all of it out like your oil. So while we're waiting for that, we're gonna take that panel off and see what we're working with. So that plate, you're gonna have a bunch of different exciting fluids that are probably gonna get all over the place. So be prepared mentally and physically for that. Yeah, that's what came out from under the plate. Now, if you go down into here, I can't see, so we're gonna add some light. And where are we looking here? Right? I think right there. Alrighty, upon further inspection, that back panel leads to absolutely nothing. So you're gonna wanna go to the front panel, not the back panel. Same exact panel up front. Undo that panel and we'll get back to you. So I'll show you the diagram real quick, but it's a 5/16 Allen key. And you have the little drain plug down there. This is pretty much what you're gonna be looking at down there. It's just easier to show you all in here. So there's your plate. There's where you put your Allen key in there and let it drain out. Now the thing is, you're gonna want it to be level to drain it all out. Loosen it, get some out, and then drop it back down to let it all properly drain out. Alrighty, as you can see, it's all draining out now. This is what that little plug looks like with the Allen key. That goes right yonder. and just let it all drain. So now your hydraulic filter is part number 1551. That's what it looks like. Same thing right over here. There it is. Wanna get all that extra fluid out. Lube up your O-ring before you slap her back on. Do a little bit of this action. Doop. Rub it around town. Plop it back on. Super simple. And don't forget to fill it with hydraulic fluid. As you can tell, Master over there is telling me what to do as I'm figuring it out with you all. But no need to fear, because by the end of this video, we're all going to be able to do this on our own and consider ourselves professionals. Fill it up, lube it up, plop her back in. Let's get to it. Hydraulic oil wise, this is what we're using. This is what the service manual says, the Kubota UDT2 Superior Performance Super Universal Trans Hydraulic Fluid. And it takes 6 gallons of it, so we got 2 5-gallon pails. And yeah, this is what we're using. This is what they recommend. So now to access your hydraulic fluid, first of all, you don't want to put this thing on like a freaking beast. We're going to do that with 2 hands real quick before we break something. But yeah, you remove this little blocker. There's your breather tube, and that's where your hydraulic oil goes. So after you got that, you can unscrew your cap. Remember, before you go and fill it up with hydraulic fluid again, make sure that you got your plug back in. As you can see, it's all drained out. And yeah, put the plug back in, fill up your filter, lube it up, plop it in, fill her up. Super simple. All right, so fill her up with hydraulic fluid. Get it to your in the clear line, and yeah, we'll be on to the final steps. And just like that, your essentials to the Kubota SCL 1000 are complete. Just make sure, you know, we do it quite often, pretty much every time they come back. Remember to grease all your grease points. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys found it a little informative. And now you can get your machine all on the up and up. If you have any questions or comments, let me know below. And we will see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys.